are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Chaleos. We are headed into the last holiday weekend of the summer, which means a lot of folks are preparing to escape for a final vacation of the season. To help you plan for that busy time, I spoke with John Treanor with AAA's Mountain West Group to find out what we can expect.
Well, the formula is there for a very busy holiday weekend. And while we don't have numbers on how many travelers we expect, after record-breaking Memorial Day travel, record-breaking 4th of July travel, and lower prices to get to a destination this year, all likelihood it's going to be a pretty busy weekend.
So why do you think so many people are traveling right now?
We've had this question asked ever since the pandemic restrictions were lifted, and we started seeing record travel after record travel after record travel. It has just been that way for years, and I think it's a combination of things. I think when it comes to traveling, there are deals to be had to get to your destination. You look at things like airfare being 6% cheaper than it was last year, hotels being about 11% cheaper, renting a car is cheaper, and certainly gas prices are lower than they have been in a number of years for Labor Day travel. That is making it enticing to get out. The other thing is people just deserve a vacation. We've seen this real appetite to get out for long weekends or holiday weekends, maybe change the way they travel. More people doing road trips or staying closer to home, but still, the want to vacation or the want to get an extended weekend is there.
So those folks who decide to take a road trip over a holiday weekend like this, where are they going?
We qualify road trip for 50 miles or more from home, but the most popular places to go are national parks, state parks. Getting out for that kind of outdoor weekend has become very popular this summer. When it comes to your traditional places to go, the usual hotspots are there across the country. Orlando for Disney, Southern California for Disney, Las Vegas. And the other destinations that have popped up on the list are Alaska, San Francisco, Seattle. Those are cruising destinations or places where cruise ships leave from, and cruising has become very popular as well.
You mentioned lower prices. Where are you seeing these lower prices?
Yeah, it's funny to say lower prices in a world where we're really mindful of things like inflation and the cost of everyday items. Maybe to incentivize travelers, larger things like airfare, rental cars, fuel, and hotels have become cheaper, and they're cheaper than they were last year. That's not to say that when you get to your destination, everything is cheaper. Certainly people are making decisions based off of how much a vacation is going to cost, what kind of activities or experiences are you going to have at a destination, what's included in a vacation package, what are you going to get, and how do you get the most bang for your buck. But when it comes to getting to that destination, we're seeing cheaper prices than we did last year.
So when we talk about, there are those folks who are bargain hunters and they're looking for those last-minute deals. Is it too late for folks to get last-minute deals before the holiday weekend?
It's a really good question, and there's a lot of different theories or tips on when to book. Certainly your last-minute stay, there will be deals to be had if you take a look around, particularly hotels who might have some rooms that they have not booked yet. They might have lower prices right now. So it's a good time for road trippers to get out, take advantage of some lower gas prices than we saw last year and hunt for those deals. When it comes to bigger trips, though, we really recommend working with a travel advisor to find them for you and kind of planning earlier on, which is something we've seen a lot of people do. Book months in advance to try to take advantage of some of those deals.
Yeah, I saw a note yesterday or a news story yesterday that said, hey, rental cars are a lot cheaper if you book them at the last minute. But I'm worried I'm not going to get a rental car if I wait till the last minute to book it.
It's always a risk, right? If you look for unfilled rooms or cars that maybe not have a reservation on them yet, the risk is you won't find them, right? But if you do wait and you are a gambler like that, you could have some deals to be found.
Okay, so for those folks who are going to hit the road, when is the best day or time to hit the road?
I like to say the early bird avoids the traffic. Friday is going to be a busier day as people get the jump start on the holiday weekend. So we really recommend earlier in the morning. If you can get out before 10 o'clock in the morning, you're the better for it. If you are an after-work traveler, that typical after-work hours around 5 or 6 is going to be pretty congested. So again, we really recommend avoid the traffic by leaving early. And Labor Day as well, Monday afternoon is going to be busy heading back. If you can, head out early in the morning or wait until late at night if you feel comfortable doing that.
Any other tips for us?
Pack your patience. There's going to be a lot of people at airports. There's going to be a lot of people on roadways. Build in some extra time to help with that anxiety and help with that maybe road rage or maybe some tepid feelings when you're driving. The other thing I recommend is get your car checked out ahead of time. We're going to be busy helping people on the side of the roadways. Get things like your oil, your fluids, your tire pressure checked out before you leave, your battery as well, to avoid stopping on the side of the road. And one last reminder, Real ID. If you have not flown yet with a Real ID, make sure you have the proper identification before you get to the airport.
John Treanor is a communications specialist with AAA's Mountain West Group. If you're planning to get outside and take advantage of the last weekend of summer, it's important that you stay safe. The Department of Natural Resources shared that most of the tragic deaths and injuries seen on Utah lakes are avoidable. Chase Peely from the DNR shared some of the essential tips for staying safe during outdoor recreation.
So here we have 4 asks for safe recreation. So wear it: life jackets, helmets, safety harnesses, and whatever it takes to stay safe in the backcountry. Plan for the weather, especially right now. We're seeing a lot of rain, and so we're going from heat to a lot of rain, and those rains can create a beautiful scene, but also create some issues for you. So check forecasts, local advisories, and be prepared for when the weather hits. Don't operate impaired. Just as I stated before, we're seeing a lot of drug and alcohol related incidents with boats and OHVs. Operating a boat and OHV under the influence of alcohol and drugs is unsafe and illegal. Our officers prioritize education and safety, and they will be actively looking to prevent impaired operation on the waterways and trails. So please make the better choice this weekend. Use your fire sense, aware of any fire restrictions. Leave your campfire cold. When target shooting, be aware of any potential fire hazards. Park all vehicles, including your OHVs, away from dry vegetation.
10 people have drowned this year while recreating on the water. Boats, paddleboards, ski-doos have all seen deaths that wouldn't have occurred if the operator had worn a life vest. Ty Hunter from the Division of Outdoor Recreation says that the rate at which boaters voluntarily wear life jackets is very low, but change has occurred in favor of safety before, and it could happen again.
In our state, we have about a 6.7% voluntary wear rate for our state. We get that through vessel inspections that our officers at DLE perform while they're out there. These are courtesy inspections, and some of these are law enforcement inspections that occur out on the water. But we gather that data that way, and it's pretty sad to see that we are at such a low volunteer wear rate with that. I'd like to put maybe one item of focus on that, to look at circumstances where recreators such as skiing on the slopes or even riding your mountain bike. In my early years, helmets were never worn. They are being worn almost at 100% compliance rate. With that, we need to make that change on the water, and it needs to be done by the users that are out there on the water, and have that individual and peer pressure, in essence, to do the right thing and to save lives.
Finally, public officials urge Utahns to be fire conscious. Kaylee Guild from the Forestry, Fire, and State Lands says that over half of this year's fires were caused by humans.
Natural wildfires are something that we can't control. However, too often it's us. 67% of fires this year have been human caused. That's higher than the last 2 years. Our top causes are roadside starts. So dragging trailer chains, blown tires, and overheated vehicles. They throw sparks and it can ignite fuels instantly. We've seen an uptick in abandoned campfires also across Utah in recent weeks. So we need to remember campfires should always be cold to the touch before you leave. Drown, stir, repeat, and check until it's completely out. Fire restrictions are in effect across much of Utah, and I will touch base on that in just a minute, a little bit more in depth. We also need to be aware of our red flag warnings. Right now, our Utah fire crews are working around the clock to protect lives and property. So let's not make their job harder, and let's remember to use fire sense.
Lakes, forests, and so much more of Utah's gorgeous natural landscape is going to see visitors this Labor Day. Make sure you enjoy it safely and responsibly so that you can keep enjoying it for years to come.